Okay, so welcome back to the live stream over here at the Ellis Network. It's a very special night. Well, to a lot of us, not a special night, but more so there's a lot of pins and needles right now within mainstream media, alternative media, social media here in America. You know, we're on pins and needles. And what we're going to get into with this discussion, again, we're on the eve of November 4th. As most of you guys know, in November 4th, you know, Antifa has their protest. Mainstream and social media and alternative news networks are now coming out 24 hours before, really talking about Antifa and the movement for tomorrow. However, here on social media and on alternative news networks, it's already been being talked about, but mainstream media is putting out there as the alternative sites, and the talkers on YouTube are nothing but conspiracy theorists and everything else. However, I don't think that's totally the case. Some of us get on the camera, some of us like to talk, some of us like to discuss the possibilities. Not that we're out here fear-mongering people, telling people that this is, you know, this is what to be prepared for because civil war is going to happen. You know, I mean, I could totally get it. You have Alex Jones, Roger Stone, you know, mainstream's portraying those guys as, you know, the alternative right source that's actually inducing civil war, that Antifa is promising a peaceful protest. Now we see both, again with me, you guys know, the ones that's coming and watching me on my live feeds or even come back and watch my videos, you guys know I try to find the reason in both senses. Whether or not that's with facts, whether or not that's with showing you guys the facts. Matter of fact, in most of my videos, I always try to put the proof of what I'm talking about. But nowadays, you know, like I said, we've known about this ever since it came out at the end of September when they blocked off the LA Highway 101 with the November 4th It Begins sign. We talked about that in my last feed. We're going to talk about it again in this feed. But like I said, we wake up this morning, mainstream media is coming out and telling people that Antifa is actually, you know, and it's not just one or two places. Everyone, mainstream's talking about it. And especially, you know, within the last 3 or 4 days, and I'm going to be honest here, guys, it's been very heavily talked about on Facebook, on YouTube. I've seen so much from both sides on the situation. Okay, I can honestly believe that maybe there's some protesters on the left that's actually there to actually voice their opinion. But also at the same time, we also have to remember there's agitators in that group. And then the society that we live in, you know, mainstream media really promotes the bad behavior in society. So the alternative right, the right side, they're looking at the negative that mainstream media is putting out, or even the alternative right tends to really stay, you know, with YouTube, with, you know, alternative news sources. And there's a lot of alternative news sources out there that talk about, you know, one or the other. One's talking about, well, the alternative right's talking about shooting and killing. Again, I've seen it, you know, from alternative right activists talking about November 4th, how they're ready, locked and loaded, they're ready to start shooting. You know, they're ready to, you know, protect themselves and their land, their city, their community, if it comes to it. You know, again, but then we see from the far right, or not, I'm sorry, the far left, the alternative far left, you know, there's even, you know, agitators in the media on that side that's saying that they're going to behead Trump supporters. So, you know, it's kind of like, again, the alternative right's painting the picture of Antifa and every single member of Antifa, which I don't agree with the ideology one bit. I seriously believe that there are human beings, same as me, same as you, the younger generation of Americans that are brainwashed. Okay, I don't believe that they're going to go out there and totally want to burn down cities. I really don't think that they want to shut their fucking life down this early. They do realize what they're getting themselves into. And if they don't, they really need to wake the fuck up. Excuse my French. So, anyways, you know, they're talking about anti-fascists. Again, sorry. There's a lot going on. Alright, there's a lot of maps coming out showing where they're going to be protesting. I mean, I've seen another map today. You know, I think it said Akron, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. I live in Ohio. Yes, Washington Post ran ad, New York Times, and now even mainstream media itself. If you just go to Google and type in Antifa news, you will see posts every few hours, every minute, you know, a couple minutes. I've seen one as recent as 30 minutes. Matter of fact, I'm on my PC right now. I didn't go live on Facebook. And for any of you guys that just recently came from Facebook and joined me over here on YouTube, thank you for making that transition. I made a post on Facebook saying I wasn't going to be able to go live on Facebook because I do need my PC for screening purposes. Now, what I meant by that was if you guys went back and watched one of my recent videos that I posted today, and I believe it was my last one, I think it was named The Illuminati's Trying to Recruit, okay? And I brought in that video that there was a video that I watched of one of my subscribers that showed proof, and he was reading it on a live feed, that someone on Facebook from the Illuminati tried to contact him. And it sounded like a recruitment speech. I actually posted the video, the link to that video, in the description, and you guys could easily go back and watch his video. The weird thing is I got a message 2 days ago on Instagram. I didn't really think too much of it. I honestly didn't. I, looked at it as in, maybe I have a troll. So I shrugged it off. But then I woke up this morning, I seen that message, I seen his video, and he was just getting the message. It was like as soon as he received it, he went live and showed. So I said that I was going to show you guys my messages, and I'm going to. It didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to. Again, I thought I was going to be able to go live on Facebook, and I wasn't able to, and this is why. I tried to find my tablet, and I can't find my tablet because I was going to sign on to Instagram with that and hold it up to you guys to show you that it was my profile and how, the time on the profile, and then I was going to show you guys the message. But I can't find my tablet, and the way my PC is, I'm afraid something will crash if I try to run multiple things at once, especially stuff that takes that much, like a screen capture plus Instagram. I went to Instagram.com, but found out that you had to actually download a tool or an extension from Google Store to have Instagram have direct messages on its PC app. However, my Chrome, I'm working on an older PC, my Chrome just isn't up to speed. And with everything else I run on it, cam capture, I have my video editor and all that other stuff. I'm really afraid of the potency of this PC. It's really on its, she's screaming at me sometimes. So what I had to do was I got on my phone, I went to Instagram, found that message, and I screenshotted them. I sent them to myself on Facebook, and I saved them on my PC. So I'm going to show you guys the image of this member I got message from, the Illuminati, 24 hours before this guy, my subscriber. And it was just, at first, like I said, it's a coincidence. I looked at it, I shrugged it off, isn't like a troll. And then he gets one, and next thing you know, bam. Now it's starting to, is it a coincidence? I don't know. But it doesn't seem right to me. Illuminati being on social media, trying to recruit people, with what, theories are about the Illuminati, you would think they'd be a little bit more secretive about recruiting members. I don't know. Maybe I've always pictured the Illuminati snatching you up off the street and throwing a bag over your head, throwing you in a van and driving you to a place. That was my perception. Again, movies, undoctrined minds. I just have a hard time seeing them using social media so directly for recruiting purposes. But let's go ahead and let me go ahead and open this message up for you guys. And again, I'm going to find my tablet. As soon as I find my tablet, I will show you guys me logging in my Instagram, my profile, and how it's all linked together. But again, I wasn't able to do that because I can't find my tablet. So this is why I had to cancel the live feed for Facebook, because I needed my computer for other things. Alright, so anyways, let me can I? Yes, I can. Sweet. Alright, so that's my alternative page, Facebook. Alright, this is for like all my alternative, my followers and stuff like that. So here's my main profile. Alright, I sent it from myself, and you guys can see that if you guys have Instagram, which I'm sure a lot of you guys do, that's a mobile app Instagram layout for your phone or your tablet. Alright, so just want to show this to you guys. I got this message, obviously, yesterday at 4:11. And then he brought out earlier this morning that he got contacted through Facebook. His message was completely different, but it had the same end results. Okay? Again, I'll post a video in the description after this video goes live. Into the description of this live feed. You guys can go back and check it out if you guys don't believe me. But I said that I was going to bring the proof out, and this is what I can bring to you guys right now. I am sorry. I am not very happy with the presentation. I really, really wanted to get it to where I can open everything up right in front of you guys and show you guys that this is actually sitting in Ellis Network's profile. So anyways, as we could say, his name's Mac Lee Illuminati. I received it yesterday at 4:11. Okay, this isn't something that I could have mocked up just to coexist with his video. The Illuminati is a secret society to promote spiritual and moral values. It was founded under principles of love, justice, unity, peace, and relief. The Illuminati brings together individuals of goodwill, irrespective of their differences and backgrounds, and ensure that these good men become better in society. Do you wish to become a member of the Illuminati and become rich and famous, powerful, and excel in life? Kindly contact me now. Again, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to my screen. I noticed you guys started to veer up. But yeah, that's the message. That's the message that I received 2 days ago. Yesterday in my Instagram. And then he brought out this video today. And the funny thing about it, and another coincidence that I find, I just subscribed to this guy about 4 days ago. So what's the chances of me actually subscribing to someone, and then 3 days later, they make a video talking exactly about this? And all of his comments, and, you know, if you go and read the comments, you know, no one else is claiming that they've gotten a message. You know, when I made a comment on the post, and if you guys go watch the video and scroll through the comments, you'll definitely see it. Hang on, I'll get into that in a minute, Rafi. It's a good point. ISIS tied in with Antifa. But you know, it's a coincidence. There's a lot of coincidences that's going on with November 4th. You can't deny that. You can't sit there and say, oh, everything will be okay. There's way too much shit going on. You got President Trump out of the office, or out of the country right now. He's over in the middle, the Pacific, the Asian Pacific. Okay, he's talking to Japan. He's wanting to go to South Korea, which a lot of people think that's a bad idea. But you got to remember, President Trump actually wanted to stop in the demilitarized part. You know, basically say hi. He's stopping in at China. He's stopping down at the Philippines. I know the Philippines. I covered the Philippines back when ISIS first started becoming active in Medina Islands in the Philippines. They're going down there and congratulating the Philippines army on how they handled the situation. If you guys remember when I was talking about it, I think it was in middle of April, maybe end of April, beginning of May. We talked about the Philippines and how they did a failed raid on a suspected ISIS member, and the Muslim community started backlashing, started a war right on the streets of Medina. We talked about that. So he's over there now, you know, giving them congratulations, I guess boosting morale. And this was just breaking to me right before I went live, roughly about 5 minutes ago. So we're going to, as we're talking, I'm going to try to find articles to bring to you guys, and we can try to figure this out together. I brought a video out 2 days ago talking about that there was rumors that Kim was actually talking about firing a rocket off while President Trump was in the region. That was just a rumor. The last notification I got was literally 5 minutes ago, and it was talking about breaking news out of North Korea, talking about firing a rocket while Trump is in Japan. This is just breaking, so we're going to go and find that out here in a minute. All while you have Antifa protesting nationwide, and they're talking about not stopping until their demand is met. They're talking about removing Trump and Pence. They call it the regime. Mainstream media is showcasing it as in they are calling for the removal of Trump. the death of the Trump era. And also I've read some posts coming from CNN and Fox, and I think one of them was Bloomberg, where they were actually talking about some of these protests, how they wanted members to have signs holding Trump's head going through it. Like, they were showcasing that kind of behavior to mainstream media. Again, you know, on the alternate right, that's going to piss a lot of people off. We already know the alternate right's already threatening going out there and start shooting people over this shit. The alternative right and the hardcore Americans for the last, 20 years has been living with their freedoms being taken away, with their civil rights being taken away. We've had to cater to illegal immigrants coming into this country. You remember, you guys remember the era here back in America where we used to say Merry Christmas? Now it's Happy Holidays. Okay, that's not a big deal. But then they want to take religion out of schools, but teach our younger generation Islam. Like, how's that fair? I mean, like, we can slowly see the American ideology tradition slowly wither away. It's slowly going. Okay, and it's not just, apparently, look, I'm going live on my Friday night. I could be doing so much more right now. I could be sitting back playing Xbox. I could be hanging out with my kids. But it's Friday night and I'm going live talking to you guys about this. This is something that needs to be talked about. And it's not, again, like I said at the beginning of this feed, I'm not trying to do any fear-mongering. I'm not trying to get anyone afraid. You guys are here because everyone wants answers. Everyone wants ideas, opinions. What is everyone else going to do? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that get ready when you wake up tomorrow there will be civil war. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be... Hang on, I'm trying to get rid of this light, guys. I'm not going to be that person. Alright? I'm not going to be the one that's going to advocate the shit. I don't want to advocate civil war or violence. And let me make it perfectly clear. I voted Trump. Most of you guys know that. Okay? Now, already, alternative left, I would already be pegged as a racist, or a fascist, or a Nazi, or a neo, just something nasty. I supported Trump. But at the end of the day, what I really want is I want people from every walks of life. Doesn't matter racial division, it doesn't matter religion, it doesn't matter cultural background, ethnic background, it doesn't matter. At the end of the night, we all want the same thing, and that's equal rights for the human race. That's what I believe in. That's truly, wholeheartedly what I believe in. So I will call bullshit on both sides. The alternative right, if you guys are really coming out, and I've said it before, let these guys protest. Just let them do what they do and fucking go home. Alright, now we do know that in the past, the police, they've been told in some of these cities to stand down and let it happen. We know that. Again, mainstream media, they're putting it out to the masses right now, today. Starting today. Almost as if like it's a theory. And we'll get into theories here in a second. They're putting it out to the masses that, hey, this could be a possibility. At first it was out to the masses as in, an EMP conspiracy theory. And then it was the Antifa movement. When we know, and it's telling people that Antifa is not going to be violent. This is not going to be the Civil War. They have their protesting rights. Well, in the past, and more and more in the past, we've seen, and it's been so much, you can't say, oh, it's just been a fluke, or it was a fuck-up. We've seen Antifa not do it peacefully. We've seen them disrupt, the community, blocking traffic, destroying buildings. Look at Berkeley. We've seen all that happen. Charlottesville. I've seen so many protests, within this last 2 years. And, when we talk about time-lapse, I really started getting into the protest live streams. I want to say roughly about a year. My very first major protest that I paid attention to was Freddie Gray's death in Baltimore. That was where I pretty much started getting the whole, sense of everything that was going on. Guys, my YouTube channel's only been, it hasn't been a year. I've been here since maybe April, at that. At 82 subscribers, thank you guys, appreciate it, rock on. And basically what we're doing now is what I've done from day one. You know, we discussed ideas. I brought facts out. Stuff that not a whole lot of people's talk about. I think I even did a conspiracy video, you know, on Planet X. You know, which we'll talk about that at a whole other time if you guys ever want. Drop a comment in and I'll make a video about it to see where I stand on it now. You know, my ideas are always evolving with new ideas. And that's how it should be. We shouldn't be so close-minded to one ideology. Alright, so let's go ahead and think of the conspiracy. And this is one that's not really being mainstream. Alright, not a whole lot of people's talking about this. But I will show facts. I will go in. Matter of fact, we'll do it right now while I try to talk to you guys. Can we pretend that there's a connection between Antifa and ISIS? If you guys think about it, they have a very strong resemblance. Okay. Now we know, you know, in Muslim culture, you know, ISIS fighters, you know, they cover their face. I mean, that's by the jihadist rule, I guess. And then we also know Antifa, they cover their face. Okay. We've known ISIS to go out and destroy, you know, religion monuments that was sacred to certain countries and certain religions. Antifa going around and tearing down civil monuments, Civil War monuments, monuments that represent a racist part of history. ISIS, they cause chaos everywhere they go. Antifa, they've caused chaos almost everywhere they've went. We all know the whole, you know, and some of you guys can agree with me, some of you guys don't, and that's okay. We're allowed to have different opinions here. My opinion, I think Barack Obama, his administration, and again, you know, don't take it because, you know, I voted Trump, now I'm going to slam Obama. I'm not doing no bashing here. I'm doing facts for you guys. And based on my opinion, I think the Obama administration is responsible for ISIS. I think that was a whole deep state agenda. Again, you got to know what's going on, what really has to go on in the Middle East that's been prophesized. And I'm not talking about religion prophesized. I'm talking about the New World Order agenda that we've been hearing a lot more about. Now, is that a deeper conspiracy theory that maybe that social media, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, can go live at a moment's notice for anybody now? Anybody can talk about opinions, and anybody can tell you what they think is true and blah, blah, blah. But also, I think everyone needs to remember that you have the opinion to think for yourself. Just because I listen to you, just because you listen to me right now, here, I got 5 of you guys watching. I don't expect any of you guys to get off this live feed tonight and just bounce. Now, you know, we know about George Soros. Everyone knows who George Soros is. Alright, $18 billion, the most recent transaction to his socialist activist groups. We know that he's banned out of 2 countries for causing and funding activist groups that cause civil unrest. He's wanted in other nations. We've seen with these Antifa protests, we've seen Craigslist ads being brought out, you know, as high as the $15 a day to protest. We've seen the buses being chartered in, and I'm sorry guys, but 60 buses in Austin to drop off old people don't make sense. And then you look at how big that protest was. You know, half of Austin was sitting at home saying they're not going out in that shit. Half the people don't even show up. Hang on. Oh yeah, I mean that's a very good possibility. We know, especially with what we've seen Halloween, New York City, and I'm talking to Heather. We've seen what happened. ISIS is still in the country. We know that. They haven't went anywhere. We all see that. And this is what I'm talking about. It's just been a weird one thing after another thing. especially in my mind. Okay, guys, you guys got to remember, I run this YouTube channel. You guys are here because I think you guys like hearing about what I talk about. So I'm constantly doing research. I'm constantly thinking of things to talk about. Okay. So when you look at Antifa in the Civil War that's being talked about, you know, no one's remembering ISIS, Antifa, the connection possible that I just brought out. You know, we're just all getting off of the last mass shooting, what happened in Vegas. Well, actually, no, to me, I'm sorry, I covered Maryland's shooting right afterwards. But the mainstream, Hollywood, or not Hollywood, but Las Vegas. Actually, no, Bush Jr., I'm sorry, it actually started with Bush Sr. in modern politics. Bush Sr. was all over New World Order. He was in every country doing speeches, and every speech dropped the New World Order idea. Like, he was trying to plant that seed in people. And again, that was the early 90s. Here we are, 2017, 17 years later, from that whole idea that has evolved. Again, look at everything with, and again, I'm not trying to split this chat up. Alright, let's put our differences for a minute to the side. Look at what's going on in Uranium 1. Okay, that's being brought out. And it's funny how Fox News, Sean Hannity, he's been really covering it. Everyone else has been kind of fighting against the grain. They're not actually talking about the facts of Uranium 1. They're more so talking about how Rosenstein went and fired, or Mueller went and fired. I don't know. I try not to pay attention to it. Antifa, November 4th, this has all been my geared up. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Alright, and then you have Nancy Pelosi. And Donna Brazile is now coming out. And if you guys remember Donna Brazile, she got caught giving Hillary the questions to the debate on CNN. You guys remember that? She's coming out along with Nancy Pelosi. If you guys remember, Nancy Pelosi took to Twitter like Trump did and slammed Trump on saying it wasn't a rigged election and blah, blah, blah. To actually come out and say it was. They're admitting the whole DNC was a rigged election against Bernie. Hillary was supposed to win. She funded the DNC. It's all out there, guys. So, you know, you have the whole crash of the Democrats and the Republicans. And I'm not really foreshadowing the Republicans. I seriously think they'll be okay. But what you're about to see is the Democratic side. They're about to have a civil war within themselves. It's amazing. Like, this is karma at its greatest. However, Antifa's already made their promise to be out on the streets tomorrow night. We already know the alternative rights and their hatred that they've been spewing is talking about countering them. Have they made any announcement for a mobilization? I don't know. I think it'll be one of those situations where they're going to sit back and see what happens, and then they'll move in. If there's anyone out in the streets that's actually against the grain tomorrow, good luck. If that's the case. Or, you know, we could wake up tomorrow and be like, guys, we're still alive. You know, my house is standing, Antifa. You know, turn on TV and birds are chirping and rainbows, and yeah, that's not even in a good life either. You know, and then also at the same time, you have the Department of Defense. And this is what's really blowing up mainstream media, or not mainstream, but social media, that the Department of Defense was going to drop an EMP. They were going to put an EMP on us. Like, hey, fuck you, America. We'll give you Antifa and an EMP. Department of Defense come out and said that they are going to sit there and go and do a mimic CME drill when they brought this out. They brought this article out 3 weeks ago. That's when it really started becoming public. And it said that they weren't going to tell people early on about it because they was afraid of a panic. Okay? And everyone now is entertaining the coincidence how Antifa planned this date first, and then the Department of Defense said, you know what, let's plan it the same day. Let's plan it for November 4th, the same day. Let's coexist with Antifa so this can happen. I don't think it's going to be that, guys. I really don't. My personal opinion, and I haven't done the facts. I can't show you the facts to back this theory up, but it's just an idea and a possibility it could be. I think someone within the deep state, because we know for this last year, we've seen a lot of military movement, even in our own country. You know, we've seen a lot of, you know, immobilization of the National Guard. Humvees being moved around the country on trains. We've seen massive buildup of military drills. And guys, that happens every year. But we're also doing drills. President Trump is doing drills that the American society is not really used to knowing about. You know, I'm entertaining the idea that perhaps somebody in the deep state that knows about these drills could have leaked it out to Antifa and said, plan your march for November 4th. Again, Department of Defense isn't going to let that drill be known. Not for quite some time. One, they got to make sure that they can prepare for it and handle their business. And then two, they didn't want a nationwide panic. And then maybe what actually took them a little bit longer to announce it. Again, we found out about 3 weeks later, or 3 weeks ago, about this drill. They didn't want a nationwide panic. 3 weeks. YouTube is blowing up with conspiracy theories that, you know, and I've seen this from far-right groups, and I've seen it from, you know, speakers like me and fear-mongers. You know, let's be honest. There's a little bit of everyone on both sides. Again, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get rid of that light. You know, fear-mongers saying that the United States government's planned their drill, coexisting with Antifa, you know, to make it easier for Antifa to actually cause the Civil War and overthrow and kill a bunch of, you know, Republicans and overthrow Trump and behead. You know, I've seen it all. Same as the alternative left. You know, this was planned. You know, this will help our cause. You know, lights out. They won't see us coming. Let's behead them. I've seen it from both sides. You guys have seen it from both sides. The propaganda, the mainstream media that's putting it out there about both sides antagonizing an EMP attack. And I brought it out. I can easily see where a lot of people's getting confused as an EMP or a CME. Because a CME is basically an EMP, if you guys think about it. It does the same thing. You know, a CME hit Earth back in 1859 called the Carrington effect. I brought the post out on my last live feed. For the information, it's on WikiLeaks. It's everywhere. The information's on there. That's been proven to happen, and that's when a colonial hole in the sun faces Earth and it lets out and shoots out gamma rays, you know, radiation rays, high solar winds, and when it hits our magnetosphere, that's what causes, you know, like a real strong one. You know, that's what causes earthquakes. You know, the pressure on the magnetosphere. That's what causes the northern lights. You know, the radiation and everything bouncing off the magnetosphere. Well, if there's a strong enough one, it can penetrate right through Earth's magnetosphere and hit Earth. It did it once. We've known it to be true. So we can't rule that out. There's only speculation of EMPs. We believe that Russia has the technology. There's theories that Russia gave North Korea the technology. There's theories that China gave North Korea the technology. Hell, there's even theories that the two, and I do agree with this, there are 2 satellites from North Korea that, you know, orbit Earth, that go over United States twice a day. There's even theories that there's an EMP nuclear warhead on them satellites. Again, if you guys believe in that, you know, go look into it. I haven't entertained the idea. I mean, to me, that's a little too space warsy for technology right now. I'm not ready for a space war. So I don't want to base my belief in my conspiracy theory on what's already been done and known to have been done compared to what still has not been seen yet. Okay. Even the articles all state the average American won't even know what's happening. You know, so, you know, seriously, I think the only thing that we have to really worry about is Antifa. Okay, now, is it going to be just Antifa? No. No, you're not going to have just Antifa out there. You're going to have Black Lives Matter. You're going to have the LGBT community out there. You might have Muslims up. And when I say Muslims, I mean radicalized. Okay, I'm sorry. I made a post. I do truly believe in a difference between radicalized Muslims and loving Muslims. Okay, there's radicalized American citizens. We have to identify the problem. You know, and I'm one of those type of people that I really hate that American citizens would stop living lives by labels. You know, white man, black man. You know, stop labeling each other. Left, right. Stop that. We're all the same. When we all die, we get buried in the same fucking wooden box, six feet down. So, yeah, JFK. You know, I mean, JFK was, and that's a whole other theory, man. I mean, right now, it's being brought out, and a whole new spew of theories is coming out with the JFK thing. Everyone's all talking about, you know, Kissinger back in the 60s was very avid about the New World Order. He really was trying to present it. Kennedy believed in, you know, again, I said he was the American president, not the term American president. He was the American people's president, just like Donald Trump is now. He speaks for the American people that got left. Kennedy wasn't all about the deep state. He wasn't all about the idea of a New World Order. He still believed in freedoms and liberties. I believe that he was getting ready to, Trump's putting out all these secrets. I believe Kennedy was getting ready to do the same, and they had him assassinated. That's just my opinion, with my research, with my knowledge. You may have a little bit more input on it than I do, and that's okay. I haven't gotten that far. But do you guys see the similarities here? They're two pretty much of the same presidents. They're standing up for liberties. They're standing up for the freedoms of what it is to be an American. They're standing up against a whole new world order agenda. Again, I brought out the message with, Illuminati trying to message me and one of my people. And then you want to go off and, on Halloween of all days, have a terrorist attack being tied to ISIS. And Wendy Williams is collapsing dressed as Lady Liberty. All on live TV. Is that just all a coincidence? I don't know. People's asked me, symbolic, maybe? I've entertained the idea of the Illuminati. I've entertained the idea of the New World Order agenda. Of course I have. Who hasn't? But everyone's all sitting there, some of the theories are that if it was a symbolic meaning from the Illuminati of Wendy Williams falling down on TV the day of the terrorist attack dressed as Lady Liberty, I don't think it symbolized that. With what we know going on November 4th with Antifa. Antifa may be coming out and saying that they're going to be peaceful, but from what we know in the past with them, and it's been proven time and time again, we know that they can't be peaceful. I do really believe, I truly believe that there are American citizens that are just using their right to voice their opinion. But we also know that the known agitators, and there's going to be a lot of them, guys, George Soros gave away $80 billion of his personal money to this foundation that's supporting them. Okay, one of them was in New York. One building was a Hewlett-Packard. A Hewlett-Packard? What the hell? Why would he be wiring money? I don't know. I can't make this shit up. The information's out there. So, that's going to be your agitators. Now, are they going to use the whole $80 billion on November 4th? No. No, that's going to be a funding that's going to take place. But can you imagine, with $80 billion, how many people you can hire for a day? Cover your face up. You won't get caught. You won't be seen. At the end of the day, if you survive, you get $1,500. Also, yeah, I'll get paid to cause anarchy. You can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of agitators out there. And I've even said it's really up to how the police, if the far right movement, the far right ideology of we got the guns, we got the we're ready to start shooting. If you guys would just stay the fuck home, just for a while, and let's see how the police and the law will handle this. Now I've said it before. We've been told in a lot of these cities that these police officers have been told to stand down. And that may very well be the truth for tomorrow night. We're going to turn on some live feeds. I don't know about you guys. You know, I'm going to be on Periscope, streaming live feeds. I'm going to be watching live feeds. I really have to figure out how I can bring these live feeds to you guys live, so I can talk to you guys as we're watching this. I don't think I can do it on my laptop. My laptop's a little too outdated. And I'm afraid the whole system would just crash, and I'll have to start back over. So, you know, I'm doing with what I can with my laptop. And I'm also on my phone hitting up YouTube. And I know that's a very dangerous, you know, with everything being censored and stuff. But can't stop me. I mean, I'll just end up making another profile and coming back. So, you know, just everyone be careful. You know, we know Antifa can get violent. We know that they will spit and throw urine and agitate cops and vandalize buildings. We know that. We know what's being said from the alternative left sites, talking about beating up Trump supporters. That's just being said. We're not making a conspiracy theory out, guys. The only difference is that we brought this out 3 weeks ago. We've already talked about this. Now you guys want to waste our day talking about shit that we've already talked about 3 days ago. You know, about the idea of what's being talked about with the facts. Mainstream media, you guys are just catching up. And you guys are making it look like we're the bad guys. It really sucks. You guys are getting paid thousands of dollars to do this, and I'm not making nothing. But anyways, guys, Americans, people just in general, okay? Again, let's forget about that for a sec. If you wake up tomorrow, and if you live in one of these major cities, please don't go out and agitate them. Just stay home. Enjoy your weekend. If you have to work, go to work. Mind your business. Come home. But then again, also, you know, that's what I would like to see everyone do. But I'm also going to promote the idea of, you know what? Don't fear them. You go out and live your life. You know, who are they? But we also know them to get violent. And if you're in a real heavy city where it's sanctuary, so it's being shown that the cops ain't doing nothing, and then the alternative right actually shows up. You got to remember, the alternative right doesn't have to show up to every protest and make every protest violent for a martial law in the United States to go down. You know, if you have it in 6, 7 major cities, that could very well do it. And then, again, that would bring up a lot of people that wanted to, you know, get involved. You know, everyone's under martial law. A lot of people's pissed off because they're going to start blaming the crybabies, and, you know, it's just a vicious cycle. So, anyways, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. We've been at this for 45 minutes now, roughly. I'm going to hit off here. I'm going to wake up early, hit my live feeds, see what I can see. I will keep you guys updated very, very much. So be prepared for, if you guys hit that bell notification, you're going to get quite a bit of notifications from me tomorrow. I'm going to try my best. Might lose your phone dying, dude. No, I'm not going out in the field. I live in Youngstown. I'm a father of 3. So I'm doing what I can. I see it all the time. A lot of people have these ideas, but they're like, seriously, what can we do? We're only one person. You can be that one person on social media and put the word out. So that's what I'm doing. All right, I'm bringing the information to people. I'm trying to bring ideas and, you know, trying to understand everybody. Oh, no, Rolfie, man, I appreciate you coming by. Heather, thank you. Cindy, Mom, thank you very, very much. But anyways, I'll be checking out live feeds tomorrow, updating you guys with what I see. Hopefully, I don't see anything. But also, if I do, that means I'll have a good, productive day talking to you guys. So, everyone, tomorrow, if you wake up, if you believe in the whole theory of Antifa's civil war, be safe. If you're going out there to cause more havoc to the Civil War, good luck. And the rest of you guys here in America and around the world, be safe and have a good night. Later.